just left Cluj. It's a bit confusing because it took us on a weird motorway that almost looked like it was going back on itself, but I don't think it was. There was two roads to Bucharest, wasn't there? Maybe the other way is the Brasov way. I'm not sure. Maybe Rach can work that out.
The other way was the Brasov way.
Is it the Brasov way? Yeah. It would have been nice to see Brasov, but anyway, we're not going to see it really, are we? So, yeah, basically we've got enough fuel for like 278 kilometers. The car still feels a bit sort of ropey to me. I think it's something like, I don't know, boost pressure or something. It's just a bit sluggish at lower speeds, really. It just doesn't quite have the acceleration. But it's obviously getting up to like, getting up fine. Yeah, we're doing about 120 kilometers an hour now. The limit's there 130, but we can do 130, I'm sure. Yeah, much the same as it was after Slovakia, really. I had a good look at the brakes. Brakes all look good, nice, new and shiny. So that's good. And yeah, there's plenty of disc and pad left now on the back, and on the front there's quite a lot as well. But yeah, basically we are heading down towards Sebesh, I think, and yeah, maybe we'll get some, I don't know what time we'll get to Sebesh, but at some point we'll obviously have to look for dinner. We haven't had any breakfast actually, have we?
No.
We got some, I think we've got some bars that we can eat from, I don't know, they were like cereal bars or something from Poprad, where we got sort of broken down. But yeah, I think we've only got 3.1 kilometers, and then maybe we're coming off this road, and I'm hoping we'll go onto another motorway, but don't know really with Romania. Sometimes you can be taken off and then the motorway hasn't been finished, and yeah, basically you'll be on a small back road for a while. But that is what it is. I get the feeling it'll be the one, and it's coming up in a minute. But yeah, we'll go the route that it tells us to go, and hopefully it shouldn't be too bad a day for it. It's Friday now. We're 2 days behind schedule because of the breakdowns. Twice we broke down. But yeah, we're going to head on and see where we get to. Decided to go the Transfagarasan route, which might be a bit foolhardy considering our dodgy transfer case. Well, we think it's dodgy. But yeah, basically we're heading now towards a turn off apparently for it. Sat nav keeps trying to turn us round. got lots of time. We might as well go a scenic route. We did think about going Transalpina. That was quite good as well. But I think that's a bit further out of our way, isn't it? So the Transfagarasan sort of is like, I know, it's not too bad, and it cuts out some of the bits of the road that we really don't like down towards Ramnicu Valcea. You get quite a lot of snarling up of traffic down that way anyway, and I think it's just a nicer route, and obviously it's like one of the most famous roads in the world thanks to Tom here, and we're here, so why not go through it? So, but first we've got to get some fuel. Apparently there's a LiQWYD not far ahead for the turn off. I think it's on the turn off, so we're going to do that. So we need to fill up really. I did try and fill up in a place further back, but it was crazy, and like I ended up like in the like the pump was just for lorries, and it doesn't fit in our car, which I never realised. So we're going to have to just get fuel somewhere else. It was a bit too crazy in there anyway. I think people didn't know how to work the machines for like paying, and anyway, we're heading on down this road and soon we'll be turning off for Transfagarasan. We are part way up the Transfagarasan. It's around about 14 degrees up here, and we got another problem with the car. For some reason the red oil light came on. I mean, it kind of coming on and going off, which is a bit weird, but we're now debating whether we should continue or whether we should like sort of drive back down. I don't really know. You know, we don't know how much more maybe it's just the altitude, the pressure. I mean, we have had oil pressure be higher in the other BMW, I think, up at this sort of like height. I think it does thin out your oil. I shoved another litre of oil in there just in case, but we don't know whether it's worth just persevering, because I don't think all of it is like uphill. Like once you're sort of up through the Transfagarasan bit, it might sort of, you know, calm down, but I don't know. It came on as red and it said don't continue. So I mean, that's a bit worrying really, but got quite a beautiful view over there. I don't really want to sort of go too close to the edge, but yeah, you got quite a beautiful view down there, down through the mountains, and another beautiful view up there going up through the mountains. So not a beautiful view seeing our car stopped again. But yeah, we're just not having any luck at all with this car at the moment. We don't know whether to continue or not. It's saying engine damage possible. We can't see any oil on the floor. We can't, I don't think you particularly smell any oil. So I don't really know. And I hurt my shin at the last place at the garage, where basically at the first garage that we stopped at, there was a bloody I don't know, you know, there was like a truck thing, and there was a load of diesel on the floor, and I stood on the side step, and then, you know, fell and then hit my shin on the side step. So not good. But yeah, not understanding why this car is behaving like it is really, but we're just sort of wondering, is it better to push through here or go back down? We'll just have to have a think about that, because I don't know how much more it's going to go up. It's going to go up quite a little bit, I think, but I don't know if it's like better to go back down and go back the route we were planning to go. I mean, that has its own sort of mountainous hill type areas as well, so yeah, we're going to have a think about that now. And we may not make it that far, because maybe there's something. I mean, the car did sound a bit weird. Hasn't been sounding right, so there's obviously something not right with the car. So but whether it can make it, I don't know. That's the first time we've seen a red oil warning light, and we've gone quite a way. I mean, we did, you know, hundreds of kilometers yesterday, so you know, no, not yesterday, day before, so we probably did about 500-600 kilometers or something, so don't really understand it. So yeah, anyway, we're going to debate that and work out what we're going to do, because I don't know if we should go back and then try and go the other route. What do you think? Do you think it's better to push through here and then get onto the downward bit, or sort of like go back and then try and go the other way, because we're on the downward bit then anyway? So I don't know if there's any more mountainous terrain on the way. But yeah, we're going to have a think about that and then work out what to do, I think. Right, we're heading back down to the main road, I think. We're just a bit nervous that even though we are sort of, even though there might have only been a short way to Valcea Lac, it might be quite busy up there, hard to manoeuvre, certainly hard if you break down. And also, like, there might not be as easy recovery. So we don't know that the engine is totally dead, but the oil light came on, and really I think we need to get back onto the main road, onto like kind of lower ground where we never had that warning whatsoever. I mean, it might not be so many people doing stupid things here. Come on. Why did you try and get past then? Anyway, yeah. I mean, they're trying to go round people, but like they're trying to take up our road. Anyway. Yeah, didn't even want to let us turn around just a minute ago. Anyway, so we're heading back down, and I think what we've got to hope is that it was just like a bit weird. It was a bit on the edge of the oil pressure or something. Let's hope it doesn't come back on again. In fact, I'm going to get it back onto the original car interface so I can see what the warnings are saying, because, you know, we need to be able to see what's going on. I mean, it does say the engine oil does maybe need changing, but I'm sure I did an oil change when I first got this car, so shouldn't need changing. But I can't see any leaks. I can't particularly smell any oil, but it is kind of smoking or steaming a bit out of the oil thing. I put some more extra oil in there. I don't know if that was a good thing to do, about another litre. Just thought that might help with the oil pressure. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, obviously the oil thins probably as it goes up, you know, but surely it doesn't make that much of a difference. But anyway, we're going to head back down to the main road. It was a nice idea, but this car just, there's something not quite right with it, and yeah, let's hope that we don't have any more problems, because, you know, we don't have another car in Bulgaria to be driving around in, so we'd have to hire a car or something. I don't know. So yeah, we're gonna head back down anyway. It's a bit of a shame. We'd have liked to have seen Transfagarasan, or, you know, we've seen a bit of it. We saw some bears. Maybe Rachel can get a picture of them as we go by. They'll probably eat us while we're waiting for the recovery truck.
They might be scared off, might they?
They're probably scared off, yeah. Someone got ate the other day, so I'm mauled, you know. So we have to be careful. We don't really want to break down here anyway, you know, what with bears about. We've got little kids, so we do need to get back down to the main road, I think. Then we'll make a decision whether we head towards Brasov or go back the other route. Strange thing is, it's been going up and down these hills no problem, but yeah, I don't know what is up with this car, but something's not right. So we're going to have to, yeah, we're going to have to sort of get it back, and then, you know, we'll have to see if there's anything that, you know, needs doing. Weirdly, I don't think I felt any slipping for the transfer case or anything like that. So yeah, and the only errors showing at the moment are 2 fog lights out. So I think going down, but the thing is, it might be when it's under pressure. You know, obviously we're going down now, it's quite easy. We're not using any real accelerator to go back down this hill. So, mountain. Maybe that'll make a difference. I mean, I think we're just going to have to go back to the usual route that we know, probably. But yeah, it's worrying, because we don't want this stuff to be happening to us when we're driving around Bulgaria, or when we're driving home to the UK. I mean, we just, it's just so annoying that, you know, we just keep having problems. I mean, we fixed 2 things already, you know, wheel bearings and the brakes, and now it's something else. So yeah, it's not doing us too well today, or any day, to be honest. Hang on, this is where the bears were, I think. Now they are there, the bears are there. Get your camera out. We can't get past, this is the problem. Yeah, but they're not letting us through, that's the problem. There's the view, they're only little cubs, so. Hello. No, I'm not going to be too... You got the camera?
Yeah.
The other camera?
No.
Right, anyway, yeah, we're going to get some bears. Just get a little bit of a view on that. It'll be alright, because I can drive off if there's a problem. You got them? Our engine will blow up now. You got them? Hello.
Right, go on.
It's alright, we're off.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Luckily we didn't break down there with the bears. I wouldn't walk up to these. There's a guy there walking up.
I wouldn't do.
Guy got eaten the other day, mate. How are we supposed to get past? Can't get through. See if we can get in there. It is going now. I mean, it's not come on again yet.
It might be because we're going downhill, it's not like...
Yeah, it's not got any pressure, yeah. Yeah, but that's important that we get downhill.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we're gonna head downhill, and I was just waiting for a caravan there to go by, well, to start going. He was going up to the bears. He's really lucky because, you know, someone got hurt the other day. You know, got killed, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not a good idea to walk up to those bears. It's nice to get a picture, but I would do it from the safety of a car, not stop and like go up to them, because I bet even the cubs could give you a nip. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, we're going to head down and see what happens. I mean, we'll have to see when we get on the road. Chloe, we have to see when we get on the road how sort of whether that light comes on again. I mean, it could be a bad day. Let's see what happens. Which is the 7 down towards Ramnicu Valcea. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, you know, we are moving along. The car still sounds a bit whistly and turbly. I think that's the noise that we've been hearing the whole time. It isn't. I think the thing is, it feels like it's not accelerating that well. There's not a lot of boost. You know, maybe it is just a boost thing. Anyway. Whatever it is, we haven't had that red oil light come back on again yet. Touch wood. I'm going to go back to the error messages. Yeah, we've only got the 2 fog lights that are not working, which is what we've had from the beginning. I didn't get a chance to fix those just before we went. But everything else, it just doesn't feel right. You know, when a car doesn't feel right. And we've got a lot of like sort of high-ish hills that kind of go around, you know, with the, you know, and you're going to have a lot of pressure driving up. So we could end up the same as what was happening on that Transfagarasan, where we're putting it under a lot of pressure because we're going up a hill. I mean, it shouldn't be as long-lived as the Transfagarasan was pretty much all the way like that. So hopefully, I don't know. I mean, I'm still not confident. We're stuck behind a big truck as well, so that's nice. But I'm not confident. I don't know what's going to happen. It's 50-50 at the moment, I'd say. Probably more likely we'll break down than not. I don't know. But we're just going to head down through the route that we know. down towards Ramnicu Valcea, and I suppose that's a place you could break down, is there maybe. We're wondering if we should have broke down in Sibiu, you know, just gone and called the people again and just, you know, told them what the problem was, but I don't know, we're keen to get back really to Bulgaria. The car is driving at the moment, so we haven't actually broke down. And we've come quite a way from where we was in the Transfagarasan, so, but it probably will happen again, I don't know. We've never seen that red oil light on this before. We had it on our white BMW on the F15 X5, and when we had that, there was oil everywhere. I mean, the oil had just come out, you know, through the crankshaft seal, and it was definitely everywhere. And you knew it was like oil everywhere. We haven't seen any evidence of that. So could it be the oil pump or something like that? I don't know. Is the turbo connected? Really don't know. But we're just going to try and nurse the car back to the house, and then I suppose spend time trying to see if somebody knows what it is, maybe. But we didn't really want to spend the whole summer dealing with the car. Just want to kind of enjoy ourselves, really. But anyway, we're going to crack on, and yeah, we're not very hopeful, but who knows, fingers crossed. Touch brushed aluminium, you never know. Right, let's crack on. Still making our way through the 7 on our way to Ramnicu. There's been multiple stops of, like, you know, where traffic is just snarled up and you've been stopped for like 10 minutes just sitting there. The iDrive seems to have failed on us now. It keeps flashing up SOS call, system failure. When we had that in Poland, there was actually like a need to put oil in the engine, but we can't get into the actual messages, so we don't know whether we need to put oil in or not. I've not seen an oil light, no oil light has flashed up, but we don't know. I mean, it could be that there's multiple lights and we just can't tell, and there's just no way of finding out what it is. Which is really, really poor design, really, from BMW. Essentially, if your iDrive don't work, nothing works. And yeah, I keep trying to go into the system. It's just frozen completely. I have had it before, ages ago. I thought it was related to heat, but yeah, it's just not coming up, and I can't get into the error codes, essentially. I tried scanning it with like a Foxwell tool, and I can't see anywhere there where you can see if you've got a problem with oil. So I think you need to have access to the computer, really. But what can we do? I mean, it's either the car is driving and I haven't seen any oil anywhere, so really just stop and mess around, I don't think that's a good idea, because if we stop, we're going to end up just the police there are stopping cars. So I was just worried. I was thinking, oh, that'll be all we need, stopping us now. But no, I think the car is driving okay. What was really weird was at one point, I think it feels a bit like it now, but it seems to sort of come back to feeling a bit like it did before Pop Rad, which was a bit more performant. So I don't know if it's some sort of weird issue with pumps or wiring or something where, you know, they're not behaving, everything's not behaving correctly. But anyway, the car is driving, and it's driving quite smoothly, and the acceleration at the moment feels relatively good. So I just, at the end of the day, I can't really sort of like think there's a good idea to stop and put more oil in, because I don't know if I need more oil. I haven't seen an oil light, so what do you do? Just got to keep going, I suppose. And if we do see a red oil light, then we'll have to really worry. I mean, we definitely saw a red oil light when the oil light came on. Haven't had that again since the Transfagarasan, so yeah, I mean, it's cost us a lot of time, but we just got to sort of see how we get on, I suppose. It's kind of moving along just fine at the moment. Touched aluminium or whatever, brushed metal or whatever this is. Oh yeah, basically a truck cutting the corner into the lane it's not meant to be in and stopping us getting past. Typical, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, we're moving on, and to be honest, he's going into the lane that he's not meant to be going into. There's a big sign back there saying no lorries in this lane, and he's moved into this lane. Anyway, what can you do? They're just a bunch of idiots. There we go. Now we're back to traffic jam again. Now where's the hazards? So basically it's a big traffic jam again round the corner. I think we just gotta keep cracking on if we can. I mean, I don't know if we will eventually break down. Car doesn't feel perfect, but yeah, we're stuck in a really bad place now. So if we broke down here, we would be stopping the whole road. Anyway, not much we can do. Right, I better crack on just in case I do break down. still going along. We've just gone past Pitești, and we were on the motorway for a little bit, so that was quite a surprise. We'd never thought we'd seen the motorway. After seeing that red oil light earlier, it was quite a shock really that we made it this far. We've now come off the motorway again, and we're on to like the back roads. And the reason we've done that is because normally it would take you around the ring road, a bit like the M25 around Bucharest, but it isn't like a big road like the M25, and there are tons and tons of traffic and crossing points, and basically you can get snarled up there for hours. So we've basically taken a diversion which sort of diverts us down away from Bucharest down towards Gheorghe. So yeah, it's a nicer scenic route, although the roads are a little bit more rural. And I mean, they're not too bad, but they're very bumpy. But then, to be honest, the motorway was very bumpy too. I think the motorway that we just been along was like one of the first motorways, and so it was kind of built and it was really nice, and now it hasn't really been maintained that well, and so it's quite bumpy, like certainly in the outside lane. The inside lane is a little bit better, but obviously you've got like other cars flying down all the time, so it's hard to stay in that lane. It's very bumpy down here. At the end of it, we were contemplating bringing a different car, but I mean, I think you need like an X5 in these places. It's just really bumpy roads and bad terrain, blaring music. Someone was blaring music then. Anyway, yeah, basically we're headed down the road, and I think we're about an hour, or how far away from Ruse? Probably about maybe 2 hours away or something like that. Not sure, maybe a bit less than 2 hours. So not too far away really. So, but you know, obviously you don't know with this car. It could give up the ghost at any time. We don't know, do we? It has been going along okay. It's still making that kind of whooshy noise, sort of like, yeah, it does feel very sort of, I don't know, I just feeling loads of weird feelings and noises, and I just don't know what's what. It's definitely like a kind of air noise, you know, like a whoosh sound, you know, it might be boost, might be some sort of turbo thing, who knows. But we haven't had the red oil light come back on, although we haven't been able to use the iDrive. I don't think it's working even now. I'll try it again. No, it's absolutely, I think the iDrive button is working because the Android, it's not Android really, the Linux system that's showing the CarPlay from my phone, that works with the knob, so when you turn it, it works. So I'm kind of thinking that it might be some form of issue with the what do you call it? You know, the fiber optics system. Basically, what these cars have is like the radio is connected to the next thing, and it's possible that for some reason the cable that's plugged into the back of the stereo has come out, and then maybe like the fiber optics is not working properly. It's very possible. If one bit goes down, you tend to then find that you can't do anything with the next bit, you know, and you get lots of weird errors. So let's see if that's what it is. I don't know, but we are still moving, and that's quite perplexing to us, because we had, you know, a red oil light, and that oil light said not safe to continue, but, you know, do not continue your journey. Basically, it was like what the kind of wording, I can't remember. It said oil pressure low, was like, do not continue your journey, something like that. And yeah, it was intermittent, so I thought, well, maybe there's a little bit of hope, because when we had it on the F15 X5, that basically totally, well, there was oil everywhere, you had to stop. But I did put in a litre of oil, because I thought, oh, I wonder if it's, you know, a little bit low. I don't know why, because we topped it up in Poland, and I had the oil changed when I first got this car about 9 months ago, so we haven't seen any oil leaking from it in the past. Not to say it's not doing it now, I really don't know, but yeah, we haven't had any issues oil wise with this car. We've had issues with every other car with oil, but not this one. And so that was like quite a shocking thing. First, when we saw it in Poland, said it needed a top up, and I just thought, well, maybe it's just, you know, it's burnt the oil, fair enough. So we topped it up, and now this red one, when we went up the Transfagarasan, that was really, really shocking. So I am really surprised that we are where we are, really. But I think the priority is to get to Ruse. We're probably going to do, like, hopefully the car's all good. We're going to probably park up in the Kaufland or something, get some stuff, maybe something to eat, get some supplies to take back to the house, because yeah, we kind of, you know, when you turn up, obviously everything is not there anymore, and you know, nothing is in date if you have anything. So yeah, we're going to have to get some supplies and see if we can fit it in the car, just in case the car breaks down as well nearer to the house, because then maybe we've got some supplies before we could get any help, I suppose. So anyway, we're heading on, and yeah, we seem to be still moving, weirdly. coolant level too low message has come on. We stopped at Kaufland and filled up, grabbed some stuff because we thought we're not going to make it to Ruse. But yeah, it's saying coolant level too low, even though we filled it up. I don't really understand. It just, I mean, there must be a problem generally with the car. Yeah, brake, well, that's brake light failure, that's fine.
Right.
What? Why did you? Didn't tell me to go that way in the camera. Anyway, yeah, coolant level says too low. Yeah, we went the wrong way nearly then. It used to go the other way, so I don't understand. Alright, will you do that? Right. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on. We're having a very bad time, unfortunately. But we probably need to concentrate on navigating our way out of here now. But we'll let you know if the engine blows up in due course. Well, the coolant too low hasn't changed, it's still staying on. I think I need to bleed it, but we're stuck in a massive traffic jam here trying to get across the border. I mean, only in Bulgaria could they make an open border worse than before it was open. We've never been sat here as long as this, have we? Well, normally we're queuing for the border, but there's not meant to be a border, so I think they're doing repairs to the bridge, but I mean they've been doing it for ages, so I don't know what's going on. Do not know what's going on. I'm just keeping the car cool because I've turned it off, but it may overheat once we do get going. No idea. So anyway, well, we're just gotta wish and hope for the best, but we have had one of the worst trips we've ever done. It has been phenomenally hard, and really only looking around Cluj has been the only sort of enjoyment that we've had on the whole trip. Most of it's been worry and stress and misery really. So anyway, let's just hope we can nurse this thing back to home, but think we could be in another breakdown again anytime soon. So it just, yeah, it's not unlikely, put it that way. Anyway, right, let's see what happens. Decreases for engines and stuff, and you're thinking we sell all that but not coolant. Anyway, that was only the Kaufland though, so but yeah, we're going to try, but we managed to get across the bridge and it was pretty much slow going all the way across, but we're going to yeah, we're going to try our best to do the bleed on this. I think it's an electric water pump or electric, I don't know. Let's see what it does. Probably gonna have to let the car sit for a few minutes, let the temperatures, you know, go down, because obviously it'd be pretty dangerous to take the cap off the water. So you have to let it sort of calm down a bit. But yeah, hopefully we got another error message then. I don't know what it was. I think it was about the brake light. I'm not sure because the don't